Hello everybody and welcome to Broadcast UGC. This is episode 22 and I'm Galactrix and I'm here with my co-host Bazag.
Hello everyone.
And we've also got a couple of guests this week. We've got Jadrian and we've got Eagle 70th with us because we are playing his mission tonight. We are playing Contamination.
Hello.
So would you like to just give us a brief description, Jadrian, about what you do?
Sure. Yeah, it's not much. Basically, what I'll do is I'll run through a player or an author, generated mission in the Foundry, and what I like to do is I just like to bring along the folks who come and watch, the viewers, and as we get to different dialogue trees, I'll just ask the audience where they would like us to go and what options to pick. I usually do this without bringing the author, so it's just kind of me seeing it, just us and my group of folks unadulterated, and we just kind of run through it, see what we can break, what kind of fun we can have with it, and we'll take hour and a half playing through these missions, and it's just a kind of a group experience when we do it, even though it's just me playing through it solo.
Yeah, that's similar to what we try here, except we do try to bring the author on just so they can experience with us.
I hadn't thought of doing that, so I tried to cover it up with my own. I just didn't think it. I was like, well, that's actually kind of a smart thing, but no, I just hadn't thought of it.
All right, well, let's get started with the mission. The mission, as Galactrix said, is Contamination by Evil 70th. Captain Dr. Clausen of the Gavin 4 Anthropological Study has decided to interfere in the pre-warp culture on the planet and must be stopped. Admiral Quinn has recommended you to help Dr. Joanne Marbles, Director of Anthropology, Federation Science Directorate, in resolving this incident. Please report to the lower level ESD for a briefing.
Okay, so do we go through here?
Yep, I'll also do the Grant dialogue mission. Captain, Admiral Quinn has requested your presence at a briefing here on Earth Base Dock as soon as possible. Dr. Joanne Marbles, Director of the Federation Anthropology Department, is waiting for you in the conference room. Yep, so you take the turbo lift and then head to the right.
Excellent. You guys take the turbo lift and I'll be down there in a minute. See, I'm trying to find an alternate turbo lift because I got stuck in that turbo lift before.
Let's see who comes in.
Don't watch this bit because we get stuck all the time in these turbo lifts, and if they knew, then maybe they could fix it.
Yeah,
must be a low on the priority list.
No, it's odd though. It's a very intermittent thing. It's not. I mean, three out of four of us went down there fine, but
right. There we are. Oh, it's a very small conference room. I thought it would have had more seats.
There's a guy here. You want to talk to him?
Yeah, it's a mission to talk to him. Objective.
He says, "Oh, Captain, the director is expecting you. Please go right in."
You should have done it with a Vulcan voice.
Yeah, I only noticed the ears afterwards. So what do you think of this conference room then? Huge table.
Okay, there you go. That looks more like it.
I'm going to be sitting down here.
Oh. Well, let's see if I can make this work. Find an appropriate sit emote here.
Sit stool is a bit too high.
Maybe sit chair. Well, could be worse.
Okay, let's talk to this woman, Joanne Marbles.
I suppose I better do it. My dear Captain, so nice of you to join us. I appreciate you taking a time out of your busy schedule to meet with us.
My pleasure.
This is my Dr. Lopak.
Sir?
Sorry, this is my deputy doctor.
The options are either sir or I got it, lots of important people skip the intro. So you can skip the intro to all of these characters. Is that one of the...
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's see them all.
I was just going to ask Evil 70th, is this one of the things you added in after you got some tips from Pendra?
Well, no, I had that from the beginning. I've been adding skip dialogue for a while, especially when I have longer dialogue sections.
Let's see who else is at the table.
Okay, do you want to, Jadron, try this? Do this one?
Sure. So let's see. I clicked it. So I got Captain. Thank you for agreeing to help us.
Of course. This is the chairman of the Science Committee, Federation Council, Mr. Ian.
Sir?
Oh, hold on. I gotta do my Andorran voice. Captain, it's a pleasure.
Okay. So who's next?
This is Captain Nicole Kimball, military liaison for the Federation Council.
Oh, gee. Okay, hold on. Captain, thanks for taking the time to help out. That's my female officer.
Sounds very much like the Andorian.
Hey, I'm not paid to make voices, all right? So just take it.
And he's last.
This is Science Committee member, Federation Council, Mr. Tarsus.
Ooh, I got one for this one. Captain, always a pleasure to meet a member of Starfleet.
Thank you, sir.
Easy there, Councilman. It's the captain where to stop suddenly.
I never stop suddenly when politicians are around.
Yes, a rather interesting insinuation.
I thought so.
Dr. Lopak will bring us up to speed on the situation.
Oh, who was doing the Vulcan?
I think you're doing all of them.
Was that me? No, I thought I was doing them all. So hard with so many voices. I can do these. All right. Thank you, Joanne. 2 weeks ago, Dr. George Clausen, an anthropologist assigned to monitor one of several duck blinds on Gavin 4, disappeared.
Duck blind, or please get to the point. Which option?
I suppose,
if I may, if you skip dialogue, it'll take you to a summary of what you need to know, and skip all the dialogue, which of course means you miss everything I wrote, but that's okay.
What's your preference?
I suppose
I think
we should.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I don't mind reading
through it all because we're here to see what you've got.
Oh.
So I'm going to click duck blind.
You know, it's how we find the typos and make. Yeah.
Okay, duck blind.
Let's do it. A term taken from various Earth dialects referring to a means of hiding observers of foul.
I see, so someone fouled up.
Being the Vulcan that I am, I don't understand your Earth reasonings, but I do not believe you understand the use of the term in this instance.
He's gone.
Oh, I ad-lib it. I'm sorry.
Lopak, I suspect the dear captain is pulling your leg.
Ah, that's what I feel. My legs do not appear to be affected. Oh, that was close.
It was a joke, Doctor.
Humor. Thank you, Captain. I am still trying to grasp the subtlety of humor.
I gave options throughout the dialogue for people to be able to skip it if they got tired or if they felt what I was writing was tedious.
This dialogue, does it skip all the rest of the dialogues or just gets to the end of this Vulcan's conversation.
Yes, it takes you down to the summary. It takes you to the summary of this.
So if we don't skip the dialogue,
so
we'll continue, does it go around the table with each person given more stuff, or is this the only guy that talks?
There will be more stuff from other people around the table if you takes practice.
So I think Bazag wants to continue on with the keep talking. Yep.
Well, at least for one more.
Let's go.
If we
takes practice.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Captain. The anthropology team that is studying the inhabitants of Gavin 4 found that Felticarian people to be quite inquisitive and aggressive as a species.
I always love trying to pronounce those names.
Not always a good combination.
Yeah, sometimes that's when I cough. Indeed, the anthropology team has been studying the people for over 25 years now. Research indicates that they have already established basic spaceflight and were within 50 years of establishing a permanent living presence in space when war broke out between the Ficara and the Tikari on stardate 60147.5. There was no commas, sorry. Oh, my wife is here and she just made a comment, yeah. The Feria joined the war against the Ficara shortly after that. Dr. Clausen has been working on the project now for 10.24 years. He had been noting in his log the war seemed to be reaching an end as both sides began to negotiate for peace, as neither faction could seem to overwhelm the other in any significant way. Apparently, this changed 3.15 months ago when the Ficara gained a distinct advantage over the Tikari. Dr. Clausen noted in several of his log entries the Ficara had made a major yet unprecedented advancement in energy weapons technology, giving them a significant advantage over the Tikari.
What type of energy weapons technology?
The sensor logs from one of the duct blinds indicate it is similar to the disruptor technology used by the Klingons.
The Klingons?
I said the technology was similar to that used by the Klingons.
Klingons don't simply provide technology.
Correct, Captain. The Klingons would be more likely to invade and take what they wish.
So where does Clausen fit into this?
Based on several of his personal and professional log entries, he became obsessed with leveling the playing field. His belief was if the two sides could be brought back to equal footing, a peace treaty would be the only viable alternative.
You can't put the genie back in the bottle.
I beg your pardon, Captain. What does a mythical Earth creature have to do with this? Is this another joke, perhaps?
Not exactly.
Dr. Lopak, the captain is referring to being unable to undo what has already been done. Do the correct option.
Yep. Correct.
Okay. Correct. Ah, I see. At first glance, the logs do seem to indicate his attempts to try and find where the contamination came from. He suspected a direct Klingon link at first, but eliminated it for the same reasons you mentioned earlier.
Seems like a smart guy.
He was able to alleviate direct Klingon influence over one of the factions. As he moved forward, he decided the next step was to covertly provide limited technological information to bring the other faction up to an equal level.
A logical response. If you're not logical.
If one is not logical, how could one be logical?
Exactly.
Exactly. Fascinating. Your wit seems quite keen. Do you have any Vulcan in your lineage?
Apologies to any Vulcan captain.
Okay. My cousin
I guess it doesn't do a facial recognition yet.
Yeah, that's one thing we want to add to the Foundry. I want them to add some kind of way for them to distinguish what race you are, because that would make it a lot more interactive. What do you think?
And welcome, Gingerbread, to the channel.
Ah, Gingerbread. Hi. Seems to be more people coming on now. So, my cousin was twice removed from a Vulcan embassy. Okay.
Admiral Quinn said you had a sharp wit, but a good grasp of command.
2, so limited technology.
It appears that Dr. Clausen felt he could covertly leave a piece of technology where the Felticarian would find it. That attempt failed when the Felticarian who found the weapon the doctor had left accidentally vaporized himself and the weapon with him. According to Dr. Clausen's last entry in the log, he decided to try a more proactive approach. That was the last time he was seen.
You think he's trying a more direct approach?
Captain, as you can tell, the ramifications of any Federation technology falling into the hands of an underdeveloped alien species is bad enough, let alone direct assistance from a Federation scientist.
Sure, but he's an anthro something or other.
I see we went to the same school. Anthropologist. Dr. Clausen also has a doctorate in biology and a master's in chemistry.
So he's a smart guy, or let's skip the dialogue. Did we say that that was the last one? That we should skip it now?
Yeah, let's get going. I'm not sure how long you guys have, but...
Okay, wow, I'm sorry I asked. Skip dialogue.
Oh, she's angry.
Ooh.
Fine. First, you must determine if there was any covert involvement of any outside entities in the sudden technological advancement of the Fekara faction on Gavin 4. Second, you need to determine the whereabouts of Dr. Clausen, and if he has made the situation worse by aiding the Takari faction in any way. Third, you have to determine the extent of the contamination and the best course of action in resolving this matter. Dr. Lopak has uploaded all the information we have on the situation to your ship's computer. Please keep us posted on the progress of your investigation.
Got it. Plots bore me. Actually, it doesn't bore me. I love plots. So far we've got... we found out that contamination is cultural contamination then? Because I was wondering what the title, from the title of the mission, what it was about.
Yeah.
What it was.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. It sort of plays back to that TOS episode where the Klingons, advanced, gave weaponry, like flintlock ball, guns to primitive people. So this is basically the 20th century version of it.
Mm-hmm. So we're off to save the universe again, Captain?
So it would seem.
Yeah, to the captain, we've received the files from Dr. Lopak. We're ready to get underway as soon as you and the senior staff are on board.
Now, lock on and beam us up. Captain, we've got a lock on you on the way team.
Looks like we can accept and all go at the same time here.
Yep, that's how it works.
Nice.
I see everyone in the chat rooms talking about the amazing prison set from yesterday's feature episode. I just played that today. I thought it was awesome. I'm not going to give spoilers, don't worry.
You get to meet someone you've already seen.
Okay, so we've arrived in space and we've got a lovely warp effect going on here.
Mm. This is the east-west one.
Yes.
I really like this one. Because we've seen quite a few over the course of the weeks we've played different missions. And I noticed on a previous mission that the lines were going backwards. So this week they seem to be going the right way.
Yeah, there's only two directions you can really go, from east to west or from south to north. And if you got the south to north one, there's a bit of a streaks going in the opposite direction as well around the outside. So if you do the north-south, you really have to go at full impulse to get the full proper warp effect. Because if you're going at full impulse, then it looks
then it works. But if you stop,
then it works.
they look like they're going back. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
But this one seems to work when you're still, so that's pretty cool. Because we're not moving, really. So do not engage impulse until you reach database complete or have selected skip info. Okay? So we've got a couple of options here. Gavin 4, Dr. Clausen, Dr. Bennett, or thanks. Just tell me what I need. Skip dialogue.
Let's go through one at a time.
Okay, Gavin 4.
Gavin 4 is known by its inhabitants as Feltikar. Feltikar is divided into 6 major continents and several islands. There are 250 separate governmental organizations similar to the country structures on Earth of the mid-20th and early 21st centuries. Most of these countries are industrialized and have a variety of governmental organizations. However, there are 4 major factions on the planet. The Tikari have a republic form of government with various sub-factions within them. The Elefara have a constitutional monarchy with various sub-factions within them. The Kinya have a communist form of government with virtually no sub-factions within them. The Fakara have a national socialist form of government. These major factions have all established a satellite presence in orbit of the planet. This gives them long-distance communications capability to include a global network. The Fakara have several restricted access. The Fakara has severely restricted access to global network by their people. So the Fakara are like a bit like combination of China and Nazi Germany.
Yes.
Quite a bit of that.
Currently, the Tikara and the Elefari have been at war with the Fakara for 5 years, commencing on stardate 60147.5. The Kinia try to remain out of the war, but are being drawn into the conflict by incursions from the Fakara. Over the last year, the Fakara have lost more than 15 separate battles. The war seemed to be turning towards the Tikari and the Elefara, with the Kinia being drawn into the war on the side of the Tikari and Elefari. It seemed the Fakara would lose the war. In an engagement 2 months ago, the Fakara used a new energy weapon on the battlefield near a Kinia town. The Fakara engaged a division of Kinia troops and annihilated them. But prior to the use of this weapon in that battle, there was no indication of that type of technology, even being under development on Feltikar.
Okay, the remaining options are Dr. Clausen and Dr. Bennett. So do we want to find out more about these guys? Or?
Well, do we know much about Dr. Bennett? Dr. Clausen's the guy that's who we're going to investigate. What do we need to know about Dr. Bennett?
Okay, let's go to Dr. Bennett and find out. Do you want me to read this one, Bazag?
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Okay. Dr. Bennett was born stardate 13147.5 on Bajor to unknown parents who were presumed to have been killed by Cardassian True-Wave forces. Dr. Bennett was adopted by Mark and Victoria Bennett on stardate 15147.5. They lived and raised her in Los Angeles, California, Earth. She attended Northridge High School, graduating at the top of her class on stardate 25147.5 early. I just noticed there's a lot of 147.5s on these days. All of them. Fascinating. She attended Berkeley at the age of 15 and achieved her doctorate in anthropology. Work history, Professor of Anthropology at the Institute of Technical and Educational Advancement of Bajor. Federation Science Director at Anthropology, studying ancient Klingon ruins in the Author system. And Science Directorate Anthropology, lead anthropologist assigned to Gavin 4 research project commencing on stardate 44147.5 to be current. And then we've got Dr. Clausen left behind. So should we just go through this one then? Because it's the last one.
Sure. Yeah. Last one might as well.
So
I'll go ahead and do Dr. Clausen. I can do that one. Alright, so Dr. Clausen was born stardate 15792.2 to John and Evelyn Clausen in Bradbury City, Mars. His IQ at the age of 12 was measured at 180. Attended Lindstrom Academy for Higher Education, Stuttgart, Germany. Earth, where he graduated on stardate 28792.2 at the top of his class. He went on to college at Cambridge in England. Earth, where on stardate 33792.2 he obtained a doctorate in anthropology and biology. He continued his studies at Berkeley, California. Earth, where on stardate 35792.2 he obtained a master's degree in chemistry. Work history: biology professor at Cambridge until stardate 40792.2. Federation Science Directorate Anthropology, studying ancient ruins on a variety of worlds through stardate 45792.2. Federation Science Directorate Anthropology, Project Gaven 4. Belticarian, commencing on stardate 46792.2 to current. Now see, if I wasn't so paranoid, I would say that the similar ending stardates is like a clue needed for something later on.
Actually, it's a glitch, I think, that was in the stardate generator I was using.
Okay. I was starting to read more into it. I was actually about to get a piece of paper out and okay, 792.
Which means I need to go back and change that.
Oh, okay. Something for you to do. I was like, I got to keep track of all these numbers. That's got to be some kind of clue later on. All right, then.
Okay.
Okay, this is the rest, I think, on Clausen, I
Cool.
think. Maybe. I'll just finish it out. Captain's log, stardate 65475.5. We've been heading towards Gaven 4 at warp 9 for the last 24 hours and are 10 minutes out from the system. I've thoroughly reviewed the data files that Dr. Lopak uploaded regarding the situation on Gaven 4 and briefed my crew. It seems that Dr. Clausen may have taken a step off the deep end. His personal log entries do appear to indicate that he has become obsessed with leveling the playing field, as he put it. It is disturbing to think that a scientist, especially an anthropologist, would interfere in the natural development of culture in clear violation of the Prime Directive.
Despite my levity in the meeting.
Well, let's see here. Oh, a little bit more. So, despite your levity, I have serious concerns over this whole incident. Hopefully, there is no direct involvement of the Klingons or any other outside entities in this contamination. That would open up a whole other problem indeed. Of course, there is this issue of Dr. Clausen's involvement. If he has interfered in this culture in any attempt to help the Takari faction, then I am not sure what we'll do about that. Then again, maybe we are jumping to conclusions, as Mr. Irne said.
Hopefully the answers will be clear soon.
Oh, I don't have any good Ferengi voices.
Well, yeah, this is your engineering officer that comes up, just to give you a friendly hint to engage impulse.
So everybody has a different engine. Okay, mine's a Ferengi, so alright. Oh, we have to engage our
Okay,
impulse.
let's just do that then.
Yeah, because it may look like we're traveling, but, we're not actually traveling.
Are you doing the full impulse? Yep, there it is.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Captain, we're approaching the outer edge of the Gaven system.
Very well, stand by to drop to impulse.
Okay, there's another pop-up that's come up. Does someone else want to read that?
Sure, I'll do it. Captain, we can't be sure there are no outside entities involved. I recommend we enter the system at battle stations.
We don't know what's happening yet. Set yellow alert.
Oh, I didn't get that pop-up.
Yes, Captain, yellow alert. Raise shields and bring weapons to standby.
Helm, take us in.
Oh, there it is.
Cool.
Captain, we've secured from warp.
Very well. Plot a wide orbital approach.
Okay,
Captain.
well, we're already within communications rate. That was quick.
So, Captain, course plotted for Gaven 4 wide orbit. I recommend we approach the communications range and try to contact the Central Research Facility.
We are within communications range, Captain. Recommend coming to a full stop.
Okay, hail the facility.
Okay. Gaven Research Facility, this is the Adler.
The ship. That's what we usually say
ship.
because.
Oh, good. I was like, how did we all get on my ship?
Ship, this is Dr. Bennett, lead anthropologist of the Gavin 4 Research Facility. Thank goodness you've come.
Are you and your people okay?
For the moment, Captain, the situation with Dr. Clausen seems to be getting worse.
Worse? How so?
It would seem that Dr. Clausen has made contact with the local leadership. There has been increased communication between the village near his duck blind and the Takari Central Command. It appears he has already demonstrated a weapon for the local military leaders, and they're calling in some of their leadership to view a demonstration of a strange new weapon by the strange alien.
Okay, you are right. It is getting worse.
You guys are going to have to read whatever is on the screen because I accidentally closed the dialogue box and now I've got a transition thing.
All right, here we go. I'll do it quickly. Can you beam down right away? We need to get a hold of the situation quickly.
We're on our way, Doctor. Captain, we've got a lock on the research facility.
Energize.
Then I say energize. Oh, I accept. Hopefully none of you are wearing a red shirt.
So what do you guys think of the mission so far?
Well, it's got me very curious to find out what's going on. So I want to get down there and see what this guy's up to.
Yeah, there's a bit of a mystery. I mean, it's pretty obvious what the Dr. Clausen's up to. The question is what happened to kick this whole process into action, and what are you going to do about it as a result?
Well, and that's what I want to find out is, what do we do with the Clausen when we get him? Is he going to be all crazy and we got to put him down, or is he? It's got my curiosity.
That seems to be how the Federation deals with all the problems. If it moves,
we just
shoot
put
it
it down. That's right. We're cowboys.
Welcome, Captain. I hope your visit was under less difficult circumstances.
Thank you. What's the latest on Dr. Clausen?
The Takari leadership are on their way from Central Command headquarters. The Alfara are also sending their leaders to meet the strange alien as well. This seems strange. Why would two major factions involved in brutal war bring their leadership anywhere near an unknown alien?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
I see what you mean. Since the Fakara appear to have a major advantage in technology, why not leap at the chance to catch up literally overnight? That would explain why they're so eager to meet with an apparently advanced alien offering them help.
Was there any indication he was planning this?
Nothing obvious. The observation posts around the planet report in once a day. When he failed to report in, we sent Technician Thysil to see if the communications relay from the post was down. Technician Thysil reported that it looked as if the post had been abandoned in a hurry. We immediately notified the Federation Science Directorate.
I'd like to talk to Technician Thysil.
Of course. Technician Thysil is working on the console directly across from me.
Thank you, Doctor.
See, now I'm thinking that it wasn't Dr. Clausen at all. Now I'm thinking that somebody did this and is pinning the blame on him and the Federation.
Ooh. Well, either way, that means that we'll have to shoot someone either way.
That's right. Someone's getting shot.
How may I be of service, Captain?
You found the observation post abandoned?
Yes, Captain. It was very strange. It looked like as if Dr. Clausen was in a hurry when he left.
What makes you think he was in a hurry?
The post computers were up and running as if he left in the middle of monitoring some activity. There was a cup of coffee sitting in the replicator.
Any idea what he might have been monitoring?
No, Captain. I'm sorry, I didn't check the logs. I searched the post and checked the exterior monitors to see if Dr. Clausen was there. I thought maybe he'd stepped outside for some reason. When I couldn't find him, I notified the main facility immediately.
Any signs of a struggle?
No, Captain. I saw no obvious signs of any kind of struggle or altercation. Why would there be a struggle?
Just covering all the bases.
You don't think there could have been some foul play, do you? Dr. Clausen got along with everyone here. I mean, Dr. Clausen and Dr. Jarpak did have some serious debates about the Feltakirian, but it didn't seem hostile.
Where can I find Dr. Jarpak?
He's working on the console on the left side of the platform. I hope you find Dr. Clausen.
Thanks, technician.
See? Now we gotta shoot this Japart guy, too.
He's up on the top E.
There he is. Alright.
Platform. Do one of you guys want to try this one?
Yeah, I'll take him. Welcome to the Gavin 4 Main Research Facility, Captain. How may I be of assistance?
Dr. Jarpak, how well did you know Clausen?
I have known of Dr. Clausen for about 10 years, but have only worked with him here for about 5 years. As I am sure Technician Thistle has already told you, Dr. Clausen and I had rather heated debates regarding the Felticarian. It was a simple debate about the path of the Felticari into their future.
She didn't say it was heated.
Oh, really? Well, it was heated at times, at least from Dr. Clausen's perspective. I do not lose my temper.
But Dr. Clausen did.
I would not say it was really a loss of temper as much as it was a passionate, if not a rational belief that the Felticari are on a similar path to that of Earth in their early to mid-20th century. In my opinion, they are closer to annihilation than Earth of that period. Of course, now that the Fikari have a distinct advantage in weaponry, annihilation seems even more likely. They are the more vicious and aggressive faction on Gavin 4. However, there still is hope amongst the Felticari people as a whole. Based on my research, it would appear as though they have faith, as it were.
You mean they found religion?
I suppose you could call it that. It seems they believe more in the ability of themselves rather than an outward supreme entity controlling everything. The core belief is that there is an energy that flows through all living things, and that with practice, that energy can be directed for an individual's own uses. I suppose it is as close to a religious belief as they are likely to get.
Interesting. Did you and he discuss this?
Yes, quite often. How come I get all the long ones? He felt that belief would be the means by which the Felticari survived their technological infancy. I actually agree with him on this. However, the leadership of the Fikara did not share the rest of their species' belief in this energy. They began a campaign 3.5 years before the war began with their society of wiping out any who practiced or supported this belief. Their reasoning, as near as we can tell, is that such beliefs are subversive and contrary to the service of the state. Now, under the auspices of war, they continue to eradicate practitioners and supporters in any conquered country. The casual way with which they eradicate their fellow Felticari is quite disturbing. I believe this disturbed Dr. Clausen even more so.
Sorry, I just need... Interesting. Enough to violate the Prime Directive?
So it would seem. When the technologically superior weapons began showing up in hands of the Fikara, we were all shocked. Based on the similarity of the new weapons to Klingon disruptors, we began a planetary-wide sweep for indication of any alien presence here. We have found nothing out of the ordinary. We determined that it was unlikely that the Klingons were involved, at least directly. Dr. Clausen was still not satisfied that there had been no outside influence.
So you've ruled out Klingon influence?
At least direct influence. If we could examine one of the Fikara weapons, we should be able to determine the origins. Of course, acquiring one of these weapons runs a risk of further contamination.
Depends on how you do it.
You have a plan to extract a weapon without further contaminating the society?
At this point, we are already further contaminating the society, courtesy of Dr. Clausen. So I think stopping him from making the situation worse is our first priority. Once we get that situation under control, we can then try to secure one of the Fikara weapons and see if we can determine the source of the initial contamination. At least, that is the plan for the moment.
That sounds like a logical course of action, Captain. So how do you plan to stop Dr. Clausen?
I'll have to play that one by ear.
Play it by ear? Fascinating.
It's an idiom used on Earth. It means to see what happens and then react based on that outcome. Playing things by ear has always worked out for me in the past. I'll contact the ship and see if they can localize the areas the Fakiri are using for the weapons. Maybe we'll catch a break.
Catch a break? I really must study these idioms. They are quite fascinating. Well, I will be standing by to analyze the Fakara weapon once you've secured it.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll brief Dr. Bennett. Thank you, Doctor. I'll brief Dr. Bennett.
So, Captain, did you find out anything you can use? Brief, brief, brief. So, you are going to play it by ear based on what we currently know about Dr. Clausen. Is doing that would probably be best.
We need to localize the original contamination.
We have a location where the weapons are currently apparently being developed by the Fakara. They have a research facility that is not far from a major battlefield. It seems they are limited to a certain range from the facility. Dr. Jarpak and I believe it may be related to the power source of the weapons. I'll give your ship the coordinates of the facility.
That could work to our advantage.
Work to our advantage?
If the weapons are localized because of power restrictions, we may be able to remove the contamination altogether, but we can locate and remove the source of the original contamination, along with the weapons and notes they've developed. We could reverse most of the damage caused by it.
Reverse most of the damage? What about the contamination itself, not to mention that being done by Dr. Clausen?
The Roswell effect.
The Roswell effect? I'm afraid I've never heard of that before.
It's from Earth history, North America, early 20th century. The inhabitants in the southwest region of North America thought that aliens had crash-landed on a farm near a town called Roswell, New Mexico. The government at the time swept in with the military and scooped up the remnants of an apparent failed experiment. With no credible explanation ever given by the government at the time, the conspiracy of cover-up flourished. In absence of facts, people will make it up.
Ah, and so the Feldkari have had the same reaction if we remove all the physical evidence.
Correct. They will only have the mystery.
That could work.
Let's hope so. Bridge, this is the captain. Correct.
Yes, Captain?
We're doing some relaying about what we're finding and our plans to deal with the situation, and, pass that on to Dr. Marbles as you go.
Right away, Captain.
Doctor, I need to check out that observation post.
By all means, Captain. The interpost transporter located on the North Pole. Technician Marcus will assist you.
Oh, and we've also got Captain PF, Dennis, and Horient joining us in the channel as well.
Hi,
Welcome.
guys. So where's that transporter? On the wall.
Vice Admiral, the interpost transporter is ready.
Okay, let's energize. And while we're beaming over there, can we play Bite-Size UGC? Because it's back this week. It's back.
Yes, it's yes, yes. We didn't have it. We didn't have a show 2 weeks ago, and we didn't have another one last week. But we've got one this week, so let's put it on.
Welcome to episode 17 of Bite-Size UGC, where nothing worth doing takes more than 3 minutes. I'm Captain PF Dennis, and I'm here with my new co-host, the one and only Kirkfat.
We're going to give you our impressions of the newest mission by Casmodian, and it's called Keeping Up with the Jasens. We'll begin, as usual, with the story. The mission begins with the Defari ambassador requesting your aid in the relocation plans of the Jasens, a non-Federation race whose colony in the Vault system is too close to the fighting with the Klingons for their comfort. You are tasked with delivering supplies by way of Andoria.
Once in Vault space, you quickly discover that Orion pirates have taken advantage of the situation and have attacked the transports, and their raid is still underway. It's up to you to save the Jasens. The plot is straightforward and logical throughout. Nothing struck us as implausible in any way.
It's refreshing to see the Orions as more than the two-dimensional targets that they are in most Cryptic-made missions. Even though they have to be eliminated in a similar way, the plot made it feel more noble and necessary. We gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Now on to map design. The space maps were solid and had all the elements needed to move the plot. Then there were the freighter interior maps, where the majority of the action takes place. These maps were amazing by any standard. I found myself distracted from my goal at times because I just wanted to look around.
These maps were all handmade and extremely detailed, despite the lack of Foundry assets from a limited variety of walls to no ceilings and floors. Casmodian created a very elaborate set of interior maps. It's an impressive use of the Foundry, and I can't wait to see what Casmodian can do with a larger variety of assets. We gave map design 5 stars. Now on to tech.
For the type of mission this is, a lot of fancy bells and whistles were not needed. The plot did not lend itself to those kinds of Foundry tricks.
This mission has tons and tons of triggers. For the most part, they are all set up well. I did find one option to open a door when the door was already opened. There were also a few moments when I wasn't sure exactly where to go. I could see some players getting lost or frustrated at certain moments. Otherwise, it was well done.
All in all, everything worked as it should, even a little hidden hatch that was cleverly placed. We gave tech 4 stars. And lastly, difficulty. Kirkfat and I both had little trouble with the combat in this mission, with a notable exception.
That's right, the ground and space combat seem balanced. However, the Orion matrons mop the floor with me. Maybe I'm not as well balanced for ground as I should be, but it's probably something that Casmodian should watch. All the other mobs were manageable to challenging, but the matrons in this mission proved deadly. Another rating of 4 stars.
And here's this week's bite-sized breakdown for keeping up with the Jacens. Remember to support the Foundry by playing these missions for yourself.
This has been Bite Size UGC.
So that was the new bite-sized UGC, and I saw in the chat room people were surprised that Kerfad is on it now. So, what did you guys think?
I always like what the guys do there. Their breakdowns. What mission was it for again? I can't even remember that.
Keeping up with the Jensens.
Keeping Up with the Jasons by Casmodian. And now we are on a cave somewhere.
The duck-blind post for anthropological observation of the Theltakar. So who wants to take this science officer dialogue?
Someone else will have to.
I will. Captain, the post appears to be fully operational and all post entry points are fully secured.
Acknowledged.
So, Captain, do you really think we can cause this Roswell effect here?
It's worth a shot. I don't like the alternative.
I can't quite put my finger on it, but it just doesn't feel right.
You always feel that way.
That is true, Captain, but how often have I been wrong?
Good point. Let's have a look around. No, I really do like that you've added that sort of personality to the bridge officers.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any reviews about that, mentioning specifically about the way the bridge officers talk?
Yes, actually.
Have they been positive or negative? Because I know some people have, pretty set ideas on how their bridge officers sound, and I've had reviews like, my bridge officer is a Vulcan and doesn't speak like that.
I've actually had some very positive reviews on the way I give the bridge officers more personality.
Excellent.
And the player.
Captain, it looks as if Dr. Clausen left in a hurry. There is a coffee cup still in the replicator. It's just as if he ran off and left everything.
Sorry, I was supposed to read that. Captain, perhaps the main computer will have some indication of what Dr. Clausen is up to.
Let's see what we can find.
Captain, perhaps the main computer will have some indication of what Dr. Clausen is up to. Anyone?
Let's see what we can find.
Ooh, I'll do the doctor. Dr. Jarpak thinks we should leave the Feltakari people to their fate, as he put it. While we've ruled out any direct Klingon interference in this culture, there has to be some sort of contamination that has given the Fikara this technological advantage. It's just not right. These people were so close to their first steps into space, the war was dying down, and they were so close to peace. It's just not fair. It doesn't matter how the Fikara got the technology. We can't just sit by while these Fikara murder innocent women and children.
It seems Doc has lost his objectivity.
I think I may have come up with a way to bring the warring factions back to an equal footing. Some of the inhabitants of not far from this observation post hike in the hills south of the town. If I leave one of our weapons along the trail for them to find, that should produce a minimum level of contamination of the society and still give them the ability to reverse engineer the weapon for production of their own version. This would even things out.
This is going to get interesting.
Captain, he can't be serious. This is the most insane line of reasoning I've ever witnessed. I mean, really, this doctor must be mad.
Oh, he's a few bricks shy, all right.
I've been observing the area where the inhabitants of Lusor hike and have picked the perfect place to leave the weapon. I'm going over there tonight, and we'll leave the weapon along the trail for one of them to find. This is very exciting.
That is an interesting word for him to use.
Well, it took 2 days, and finally a hiker found the weapon. Of course, I had to practically throw it at him. It was going so well until he picked it up. Somehow managed to set it for maximum, and then promptly vaporized himself along with the weapon. It wasn't difficult to get a weapon from the main armory without anyone noticing, but I'm not sure I can do it again so easily. Perhaps I'm going at this the wrong way. Even if they managed to get the weapon to a research lab without killing themselves, it would take time for them to reverse engineer it. Maybe I need a more direct approach. There is a theoretical physics research facility in Lusor. I may be able to find someone there I can initiate contact with.
And now we come to it.
I have made first contact via shortwave communications with a Takari physicist here in the town of Lusor. I don't know, that probably isn't the best town name, but she of course did not believe me when I told her I was not of this world. We are going to meet tomorrow on a ridge not far from the town. I will demonstrate the weapon for her and then help them to develop their own version. The playing field must be leveled regardless of the cost to their society.
Okay, I've heard enough.
Captain, the local tracking sensors are picking up human life signs in the nearby town. He is located inside what appears to be a military facility on the east side of town near the water. There are several Takari in the town between us and the doctor.
Can we beam him out?
Not likely, Captain. It appears there is a local scattering field surrounding the doctor. He is probably using a tricorder to disrupt his biosigns. We can't get a lock on him.
Clever, Doc. We'll have to go get him.
So weapons on stun, Captain?
Yes, we need to avoid contact as best as we can.
The local area around the post is clear, Captain. The console next to the interpost transporter also controls the entry point.
Let's go. The door is open. We can secure it with the tricorder once we exit. Author's note, make sure all your away team is completely out of the cave before you lock her up. Let's find the doctor.
How often we've had the author actually read the author's note live.
You like that?
That's good. You know, that's one thing I have to admit. For all the training that these Starfleet folks have, it's amazing how often they get stuck on doors and whatnot. So, yeah, I think we're
So
clear.
everyone's out. There we go.
Oh, sorry, I missed that dialogue.
I've sealed the cave, Captain.
Captain, if we circle around to the south of town, we can reach the outskirts close to the military base. There seems to be less Feltakarian activity there. I've marked the entry point on the map.
Sounds like a plan.
So that was pretty cool. A cave that we walked out of onto the map. Is that a part of the map, or did you have to add that cave on?
No, I had to add the cave.
And the door to the cave.
Correct. I also set it up so that if the player gets booted from the game and has to come back in, he can still open the door again.
That's good.
I also set it up so that if the player gets booted from the game and has to come back
I like the design of this city.
What's that?
I said I like the design of this city.
Oh.
It's, yeah.
Oh. That was a warning that pops up if you try to go in the wrong side.
Oh. What happens if you do go in the wrong side?
Captain. Yeah.
Nothing,
You
you'll
wanna
end
read
up
it?
fighting your way through civilians.
Okay. Cool.
This is it, Captain. From here, we should proceed north between these two buildings. I'm detecting some guards around the gate and some inside the compound. We may be able to avoid the guards, Captain.
Okay, how?
There are several crates stacked up against the outside wall. We may be able to use them to scale the wall and enter the compound undetected.
So we're going to do it by the rather security lax military? Or we're going to go through the front gate and...
Oh, let's be sneaky. Let's do the crates.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we may have to use the rally point, it says, to bring the boss up, but good idea. So, just jump over.
Yep.
Whee!
Looks like the Riemann had no trouble getting up there, though.
Yeah, I noticed that. I think that was just something that happened in the Foundry when I was testing.
Yeah, when you test in the editor, there's no pathing information, but after you publish it, that's when they put in the bridge officer AI.
Oh, okay.
Captain, I'm
Cap-
picking up the doctor inside the main building. There are about 10 Tikari inside as well. Should be able to enter through the south door.
I guess this is the south door.
Time to retrieve the doctor then. Oops. Oh.
There are 10 Takari in the room directly ahead behind the security door. Dr. Clausen is in there with them.
Let's get to the doctor. Set weapons to stun.
Wish I could. I've got mine set to vaporize.
Oh. I put mine on fun.
Captain, the space to our left contains the facility's environmental controls.
What about it?
Perhaps they have a security system we could use to our advantage.
Let's take a look, I reckon.
If we override the security system, we can inject an anesthetic, which should stun everyone in the control room.
Okay, let's override the security system.
That's pretty cool.
That should do it, Captain.
Good, now we get the doc.
I remember a similar kind of option in, what was it, Alt Exists Maelstrom mission.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I'm guessing if we did do that, it would be a lot more combat than this is the bypassing the combat part.
Correct. There was a trigger, a hidden trigger that if you move up the passageway without doing the anesthetic, it will trigger live people inside for you to fight.
Very clever.
Okay, so here we go.
We have overridden the security locks.
Okay, it doesn't look like the door opened.
Now you have to trigger it again. See?
Okay, there we go. Okay, so the first one triggers the weather body what spawns, and the second one actually opens it all.
Correct. Well, actually, the bodies are spawned by the anesthetic.
Oh, that's twitching.
Well, that way you don't have to. Well, yeah, some of them twitch because they've been
Yeah,
stunned.
they're not dead.
Oh, and yeah, and the doctor is only mildly hurt, and he's holding his hands in his face.
Oh, here I go. Where did you come from?
Outside, but that isn't important.
You killed them. What are you doing here?
Stunned them. Not stopping you making. Stunned them. Stopped you from making it worse.
I'm not making it worse. I am simply leveling.
The playing field. Yes, I reviewed your logs, Doctor. You really have no concept of what you are doing here, are you? You have opened a true Pandora's box here, Doc.
I'm helping them get back to equal footing so they can end this war and get back to peaceful development of a space program.
By giving them weapons beyond their comprehension?
You don't understand. How could you?
Doc, history is full of good intentions gone bad. We simply do not have the time to debate the pros and cons of interference in a primitive culture. You're condemning these people to further pain and suffering for what? Some pie-in-the-sky dream you have that they will become a peaceful people with no ill intentions towards their galactic neighbors? I think it is you who does not understand.
No, I am saving these people from many years of bloodshed, pain, and suffering.
Really? By giving them the power to kill millions?
No, it's not like that. I've been studying these Dakari, and they are normally a peaceful race. The war was forced upon them by the Fakara.
Which is entirely not our problem, Doc.
Oh, now I suppose you're going to quote the Prime Directive as our only guideline in dealing with developing cultures.
The Prime Directive exists for a good reason, Doc. The intervention of Federation into developing cultures has always had a negative effect on that culture and its development. We cannot set ourselves up as a judge of race's potential for good or evil. No matter how long you've studied these people, you cannot know what your intervention will bring about.
What about the course of their culture being changed by the introduction of advanced weaponry to the Fakara? How does that figure into your grand Prime Directive?
We have a plan to correct that.
You have a plan?
Yes, the Roswell plan.
Brilliant. It's a brilliant plan, and it might actually work. I should have thought of something like that.
Perhaps you were too close to the problem.
Perhaps. So what's next?
First, we erase any evidence of your presence or the demonstrations you've provided here from their computers. They will only have their memory of these events and no proof. Then we go after the Fakara weapons and contamination source.
This could actually work. The main computer is to my right.
Right, then let's get to it.
Oh, sorry. Captain, that should take care of the files on the computer core, including the recording of Dr. Clausen's contact via shortwave radio. I've uploaded a virus to the computer system that will spread throughout their entire global network and locate all other files related to this incident. Within a few hours, there will be no trace of any computer entries related to this incident. The last thing we need to do is destroy any hard copies they may have.
Doc, have they taken notes or other recordings?
Yes, they've been keeping the notes and photos locked up in that cabinet next to the other computer terminal behind you.
Let's get those and get out of here.
Well, there goes my theory that it was someone else putting blame on the doc.
Haha, then I was successful.
Lieutenant Harpo and his squad are beaming down to escort the doctor. Captain, Looks like we've got the last of the docs and photos from the cabinet. Should make one more sweep of the facility to make sure there are no other traces.
Okay, we're gonna sweep it one last time.
Ridge, we're going to sweep one last time.
Yes, Captain.
Dr. Clausen,
Yes, Captain?
Lieutenant Harper will be escorting you.
Oh, I understand, Captain. I'll see you on your ship then.
Until then, Doctor.
Captain, we are secure.
Yeah.
Beam up with Dr. Clausen when ready.
We should scan the control room lower level to make sure that we got everything.
Good
I
plan.
guess it'll take these guys a little moment to get ready.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't make them all beam out.
Hopefully, someday. Someday.
Captain, looks like we got everything related to this incident. The virus has already spread to these computers. There is nothing of interest in the cabinets or other crates.
Good, let's get out of here.
Before they wake up. Do you want to do this one, Evil?
Yeah, I'll do it. Captain, we've narrowed down the location of both the contamination and the Fakara weapons storage. The weapons are being stored in a facility approximately 1,500 kilometers north of your present position. There is a battle taking place in the vicinity of that facility. The battle appears to be winding down as if it is coming to a halt. Both sides appear to be pulling back to their positions. The apparent site of the contamination appears to be the wreck of a spaceship approximately 250 kilometers from the facility where the weapons are being stored. I can't really tell from orbit what the origin of the wrecked ship may be. That site has several guards around the perimeter. That says parameter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'll fix that.
Beam us as close as possible to the site. That wasn't technically a typo. It was just a wrong word usage. But even then, it's amazing how some things will slip past.
Yeah. Captain, we'll put you down in a deserted area near the crash site. The coordinates are locked. We're ready to beam you on your command.
Energize.
Sounds like we're getting near the final battle.
I guess it was just a crash ship that's, supplying all the problems.
See, and I thought there was something real deep and, going on, but nope, I was way wrong.
Well, but then my writing worked. That was the idea.
You try to throw in the extra doctor and then the mentioning of Klingons and stuff. So, yeah, you had the underlyings there, but apparently it was just a doctor that went kind of crazy.
Not crazy, just who was illogical, as Vulcan might say.
Right. Captain, the wreckage is scattered over a wide area. The explosive charges should vaporize all debris, but you'll have to plant the charges for each one.
I'm still loading them up, so someone will have to take over reading the captain for me.
Yeah. Got it. No. So if we plant one charge, I guess that will plant it for everybody. Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess someone got it. There it is. Oh, went away. There it is. There. Maybe. How close do I need to be? There. Let's try this.
Oh, Captain, this wreckage is from a scout ship-size engine pylon. It appears to be from a Klingon vessel.
They seem to be a long way from home.
I can't be sure, but at the moment it appears as if they suffered a major systems failure and crashed here.
So not deliberate then?
At the moment I can't be positive, but yes, Captain, it does look that way. There is more debris to the east of our present position.
Well, we'll get to those after plant charges here. Or let's go.
I'll let somebody else plant it.
I'll go ahead and do it. There it is. Oh, it even puts a charge. Very cool.
So you've made up a little. Well, there's 3 assets that go into that single charge, isn't there?
Yes.
Mechanical canister and a couple of other canisters.
Oh, so
Yes.
that's not even one asset. You actually had to build that yourself?
Yes, each component I put in.
Oh, very cool. And I suppose you had to place the ship pylon here as well.
Yes. Yes, each component I put in.
Okay, I think it's this way, up the hill.
Yeah, I'm trying not to lead anybody.
Well, it's usually for me, I just press M when I want to go anything and it appears on the map.
I usually press V in front of my tricorder.
Captain, the wreckage is definitely from a scout-sized Klingon vessel. Based on the explosive pattern, there was definitely a catastrophic failure in engineering which caused a hull breach and forced the ship down.
Any survivors?
I doubt it, Captain. The hull breach ripped a hole in the side of the ship, forcing them down. They apparently tried to make a controlled landing here and clipped the trees, then slammed into the ground. Anyone who was still on board at that point was vaporized.
Not exactly a warrior's death.
Captain, I'm picking up Felticarian patrols all around the perimeter. Hey, I actually spelled it right that time. Of the crash site.
Let's plant charges and get on with it.
Captain, I'm picking up Felticarian patrols all around the perimeter. Hey, I actually spelled it right that time. Of the crash
There
site.
it is. Now, will we get to see these detonate when we blow them up, or is that...
I'm not giving it away.
Oh, boy.
Captain, there are 2 more pieces of wreckage. There's also a small camp near the larger piece. I would suggest we plant the charges on the smaller piece to the southeast of our current position. Then we can plant the charges for the larger piece.
Good plan. Let's get to it.
All right.
Run, 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 run. Yes, who did bring the Reman? I can't remember who's the Reman is.
What's that?
The Reman bridge officer. He's Evil's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Captain, for the last piece, we'll need 2 charges.
Understood, let's go.
Oh, sorry. I was leading.
I'm still out ahead, so don't worry. No, I haven't commissioned my new Jem'Hadar bridge officer yet.
Captain, that should do it. We just need to get to a safe distance and blow the charges.
The thing just closed down for me, so I didn't get to read any of it.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Let's go is what he
let's go.
said.
Yep.
Wait, Captain, the tents nearby have computer consoles. We should check them for information related to this site. If they are connected to a network, we may be able to plant the virus I planted in the Takari system.
Let's check it out.
It doesn't look like there's anything in that one.
Oh, there you go. Maybe here.
Captain, there are files in this terminal that are related to the wreckage. I've uploaded the same virus to the computer system that we loaded on the Takari system. It will spread throughout their entire global network and locate any other files related to this incident. Within a few hours, there will be no trace of any computer entries related to this incident. There is nothing in any of these crates in either tent related to the wreckage or this incident.
Good, let's get to a safe distance. Now, the question is where the... Oh, it's way over here.
would have been interesting if they had it set up, or if at all possible, like a larger campaign where you could have skipped putting the virus, blown the charges, and then had to come back and deal with the fact that you didn't plant a virus. I wonder how much more that would have taken to do, rather than just wiping out the data then blowing it up.
I think it would be relatively simple. You could do it with triggers. I mean, I'm sure.
I guess it would just depend on how much story you wanted to create.
Correct.
Yeah, in terms of multiple mission story arcs, I mean, Admiral Murphy has done quite a few of those, so they're doable. But
okay, we're ready to blow the charges, Captain.
Blow the charges.
Take a look.
Yay!
Nice.
Yay! Explosions.
Thank you. Captain, we're ready to beam you to the Fakara Weapons Depot. There are still pockets of light fighting between Fakara, Takari, Elefira, and Kinara forces around the facility, but it appears to be mostly in the north.
Put us down away from the fighting.
You are right, those names are hard to say.
We found an isolated area away from the fighting.
Energize.
Yes, then let me say that again. Yes, Phil Bones, it makes me nervous when I review my own mission with other people.
Okay, so let's scan and continue on.
Explosions.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Captain, most of the weapons appear to be secured in an armory building to the northwest of our present position. There is heavy fighting to the north and west of our present position. It looks like there are more than 50 Fakara between us and the armory.
There must be a better way.
It appears the Fakara are engaging the Takari, Kinara, and Elfira forces to the north of the facility with standard firearms. I'm also detecting advanced weapon signatures located directly west of the armory. They appear to be preparing to engage the Takara, Kinara, and Elfira, boy, I could shorten that, forces to the north.
This just keeps getting better.
Captain, I suggest we destroy the armory first, then retrieve the weapons from the Fakara to the west. There are only a handful of Fakara on the southern end of the facility. That may be our best entry point. I've marked the entry point on the map.
Weapons on stun, but let's avoid them if possible. Yeah, so we can just skirt around the edges. Ooh, fire.
Hey, and I just got another viewer in my channel. Striding Wind just walked in.
Wow.
Captain, we should find another way. There is an engagement of Fakara Kinara forces ahead.
Well, is that saying that we just
That's
got
because
too close
somebody.
to the...
No, that was because somebody in the group strayed closer to the Fakara over to the east.
I see.
We're actually heading the right way.
Oops, this way. But we could go pew-pew if we wanted to.
You could wade through them, yes.
How many are there?
And yes, so we're broadcasting both on livestream.com/Cerberus and Jadrian's Twitch TV channel. Do you want to say that for everyone who's listening who's not on it, or for those who will be viewing this later on YouTube?
Sure. Yeah, if you want to ever check out my Twitch channel, it's basically just twitch.tv/Jadrian. Jaedrian, and you'll be able to see this later and all my other Star Trek related stuff as well.
Cool.
Captain, from here the armory is the small building directly north of us. I'm not detecting any guards inside or around the armory. We should plant the charges quickly.
Let's go.
I see a thing.
Ooh, some more explosions. Yay.
Ooh. Lots of fire.
I really do like that fire thing they've got there with the smoke.
Thanks. Figured you're near a war zone.
So you decided to do these each, do the demolition charges one at a time?
Yes, it made it easier to set up the triggers for the other explosions that indicate that you're in a war zone, basically.
I think it adds great atmosphere.
That should do it, Captain. We've planted enough explosives to level this building.
Good, let's get to a safe distance.
Captain, I suggest we move west before blowing the charges. That will put us in a better position to engage the Fakara with the advanced weapons.
Good plan, move out.
Do they have anything where it makes it look like the ship fired its weapons from outer space down onto a target?
No orbital strikes.
Make sure you turn around and face the armory.
Oh,
We're ready to blow the charges, Captain.
Here we go.
Anybody?
Oh,
Electrics.
I'll do it.
Or someone?
Oh, go ahead. Well, I'm trigger happy. Yeah, there it is.
Ooh, a destroyed building too.
Nice.
Then scan.
Switched it out.
That should take care of the weapons in the armory. The explosion completely collapsed the building and destroyed the weapons inside. I'm not picking up any weapon signatures from the armory.
Good.
There are about 15 Fakara to the west with advanced weapons.
Let's get those weapons and get out of here. Oh, they all seem to be in one big, huge group, so yeah.
Oh.
Let me just buff up.
It doesn't take much to kill me, apparently. Let's see.
Oh, he's gone stuck in the wall.
Oh.
There we go. Oh, I got some Ferengi snail juice. Yummy.
That's the last of them, Captain. All 15 weapons are accounted for.
Science. Any other advanced weapons?
I'm not detecting any more advanced weapons, Captain.
Let's confirm that with the ship.
Anyone?
Captain, we've been monitoring the situation from up here. Ship sensors are not picking up any additional advanced weapon signatures or other advanced technology other than the duct blinds and main facility. All those sites are secure.
Excellent. Beam us to the main facility.
See, part of it, too, is that the mission is really designed for one person. So there's a tactical, there's a science, there's an engineer, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a bit hard designing missions for groups. Just because you can hardly use the bridge officers, and when you talk, you have to, you either have to assume multiple people or assume one people when you interact with people. So
We have been getting all the other bridge officers, in the dialogue boxes, but if you bring your own one down, then you tend to see your own one for all of them. Because it goes with what you have.
Who are we waiting for?
How about Captain? We're locked onto you and ready to beam you to the main research? Oh, maybe you're waiting on me.
Yeah.
Is someone going to read that? Okay, you were waiting on me. Sorry.
Oh, Phil Bones has a good suggestion in the live stream chat. Shame we can't have the pop-up as other players.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Have, a conversation between the two different captains, you and another player in your group.
That would be fun.
Oh, we're back here again. Cool.
Yes, well, yeah, we were being back to the main facility.
Welcome back, Captain. It seems the Roswell effect, as you put it, has begun to run its course. We've been recording increased communications between the Takari base where you retrieved Dr. Clausen and the Takari Central Command. It appears as if they have cancelled the demonstration of the advanced weapons due to lack of advanced weapons or any records of them.
Excellent.
Oh, I'll take that. Both the Takari and the Elefera leadership are returning to their command headquarters. The commander of the Takari base has been ordered to report to the Central Command, along with the scientists that Dr. Clausen contacted. There have been several reports regarding the alien encounter in their media.
Let's see it.
I'll read this for you. In other news, rumors of alien encounters appear to be unfounded. Military public affairs representatives reported that rumors of an alien encounter in the coastal village of Lesroor in the province of Exum, whatever. It's supposed to be New Mexico backwards. Anyway, are completely unfounded. There's absolutely no proof that the village was visited by aliens. Several residents claim to have seen the actual encounter, but have nothing more than their word to support their claims. Military officials at the could not be reached for comment. In other news, the Fakara have requested an immediate ceasefire with Takari, Elfira, and Kinara forces around the world. A temporary ceasefire has been agreed to by all parties, while negotiations for a more permanent conflict are worked out.
See, and now that you said that,
Yeah,
I just figured out that the
realized.
city of Luswar is Roswell backwards.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Sneaky.
Thank you. Takari, Elfira, and Kanara forces are expected to demand a complete unconditional surrender of Fakara forces. It is not clear if the Fakara will accept those conditions. Coming up next, what you don't know about your neighbors could shock you. And later, the beginning of our 4-part series on alien encounters and the nut jobs who believe them. Stay tuned.
It's nice to know that the news is corny everywhere.
Well, it looks like it is working.
I have to.
And no, Phil Bones, she is not my girlfriend, the newscaster.
I have to admit, Captain, I'm a little surprised your plan worked. It would seem the Felticarian people are the same as any other species.
Comforting thought.
Captain, Dr. Marbles is calling for an update.
Patch it through.
Anyone?
But Zag was doing this one.
I think I did her, didn't I? Captain, a pleasure to see you. I understand you were able to retrieve Dr. Clausen and prevent further contamination.
Yes, ma'am.
The captain is being modest, Dr. Marbles. Not only did they retrieve Dr. Clausen and remove his portion of the contamination, they removed all traces of the contamination from both sides. The Roswell effect appears to be taking hold of the Felticarian people. The virus planted in the global networks of both sides has eradicated any trace of real data concerning the advanced weapons or alien technology. All that is left are rumors and theories regarding to possible alien encounters. The Fakara have sued for peace, and it looks like the war here will be coming to an end.
Well, it really was nothing. Excellent news, Captain. What about Dr. Clausen?
He is secure aboard my ship.
Good. Please return him to Earth as soon as possible. He has a lot of explaining to do. Now, the question is, shall we go on easy on him or make an example out of him?
See, here I thought I would give the captain the opportunity to make a decision on how they wanted to treat the doctor.
Why don't we both click a different option? I've clicked on go easy on him. Why don't you try the other one?
Okay, so I'll do make an example of him.
Okay, I guess I should read this one then, because I clicked on it, you can't see it anymore. It's Dr. Marbles, and she says, "We'll take your recommendation under advisement, Captain. After all, it was you who saved the Feldicarian people from the possible complete annihilation. I knew you and your crew were right for the job. The entire council and I look forward to reading your full report, Captain."
Well, it looks like I've got the same exact dialogue. The button is no more than I look forward to writing it, ma'am.
It looks like that's the end. It says, "Thanks for playing this mission. We hope you enjoyed it." The end.
Oh, and right as we get to the end, Night Wolf in my chat, Nightwolf2244 just joined us. So welcome to the end.
So yes, that was Contamination by Evil 70th for this week's broadcast UGC. Thank you, Evil 70th, for joining us.
My pleasure.
And also thank you for Jadrian for joining us on the show as well.
Oh,
and,
you're welcome.
Hello to all of the people in his Twitch TV channel.
This was actually really, really fun. Thank you so much for having me come along.
It was great to have you guys.
Been a pleasure. We've got an extra special broadcast UGC next week. We're getting our first Devon. H2O Rat is going to be joining us next week, so that'll be fun.
Yep, because H2O Rat's made his first Foundry mission, and we're going to be giving that a go, and hopefully he'll be able to join us. So I hope everyone can join us next week on the live stream, and that's at 2 p.m. GMT, no, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. GMT.
And 9 a.m. Eastern Australian time for daylight savings time for those of us in Australia.
Okay, so that's it from me. Goodbye.
Well, thanks again, everybody. That was really, really fun.
Hope we can have you again on sometime.
Oh, definitely. Keep in touch. See, I have to watch your show now because I got to get ideas to steal for mine. So, all right. I'll see y'all later.
Thanks,
Good
everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.